Hello Americans, and other friends and subscribers around the world. Back again, out here on the Cook Shack. So I thought I'd try to do a video on there. We actually got the editor downloaded on the computer now. So we need to do a video to test to make sure that's all working according to plan. So start off doing the, show you the, well, listen here, first I'll show you this. This is what happens when the weather turns to crud, and man, we've been getting a ton of rain, and actually it's going to be down to 29, I think is what they're saying tonight. So time for heat tapes and all that stuff on the rolling hoses up, draining hoses, all that stuff today. But this is what happens when you got a rainstorm and Miss Kitty's trying to get her laundry done. So she looks for any cover and then starts taking it over. That's all right. But anyway, so this section right here is going to be, this is off of the Cookhouse, which is going to be the greenhouse. So I'm in the process of doing that. Got the top on this. I'm actually going to put this roof. This is going to be the fiberglass roofing. You know, the solar greenhouse type roofing on this side, which I'm actually tearing off of. I'm going to go ahead and put metal on this one over off of the cabin over here, and go ahead and make that, because that was actually going to be a greenhouse thing. So it's like I said, plans always change around here, man. So this roof's going to actually come off this way a little bit, and then I'm going to put I have this little window here, which came out of one of the old camp trailers I was working on, clean it up, and I'm going to put it up in there, you know, for the greenhouse, so that you got the little bit of venting and stuff. So I'm going to put it up there. And I thought I'd show you on this, whoops, where I got these cut, just drop on the ground. Kind of what I did on this, an easy way to do, you know, the stop sign shaped window. What I did is I built this frame, set it, and then came back, cut me some triangle blocks, you know, to fit up in the, you know, in the corners like this. I showed that like this. And then being that I redo camp trailers and worked in mobile home plant for a while, stuff like that is one of my favorite things that's sometimes hard to find anymore, but it's the old putty tape. I just love putty tape on the windows. So I actually put putty tape on this, you know, and then put my blocks. And like this one right here, you can see that. Get the camera just right, there's a gap in there, so I'm going to pop this block out. Actually put some putty tape here too, just to make sure it gets all, you know, sealed up good. But I just love the old putty tape. So like I said, something that they don't use too much. And this right here in the greenhouse, I'm actually going to put a bathtub right here, because we picked up finally got our propane endless hot water heater. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out in the greenhouse off of the Cookhouse there. And one of the reasons is because I got a water spigot right here, so that'll make that nice. And then I did this the house wrap I actually picked up at a yard sale for, I think I gave $1, you know, and it was enough to do. Got that over there, that there, and then a little bit, a few chunks and stuff around to try to finish up that wall. And then I still got to do all these walls. But I figured, man, why not? I'd never actually used the house wrap when I was building houses. House wrap wasn't around. We were actually using a foam Celotex, is what they called it back then. Anyway, so I'll put that, you know, put a bunch of that here and stuff, and then I'm going to use the, probably get some R19 insulation, get it all sealed up like that. One thing that's nice about this, the Cookhouse, is, you know, that we've got the cabin, and I can actually build and do everything with this, you know, that I've always dreamed about, because I'm not pressured for time, you know. I mean, we've got our place to sleep and eat and, you know, kick back and all that already done, so I don't have the pressure of getting all this done before the snow flies, because if I did, I'd have not very long, because I think the snow's going to be flying very soon. So I'm going to put them blocks in, and I guess you can look at the framing. You know, I use the slats. Actually, my air compressor blew up, which I ended up getting me this Little Harbor Freight special, man, and I'm freaking this one here, and I'm loving it. Went back to, I always have used the twin tank Emmy Glows. My Emmy Glow blew up, and then I picked up one of these tanks like this, a Craftsman, and in the process of being up here with as much moisture and everything that, you know, was in the air up here, and ended up it got leaked on and stuff, blew it up last year, and then the kids got me a small little Harbor Freight compressor, and it got me by for a year, and it was almost a year to the day that that little one blew up. So anyway, I ended up, when I did this roof, I ended up doing all this hand stack and trusses and everything. I hand nailed all of this, so that was like going back to how it used to be done. But so I got it all on, and then ended up going down and picked that compressor, man, and watched their sales. I ended up getting that for 99 bucks, and I bought that, and then I was actually going to do it. Old Bob always does them, you know, his look on the Harbor Freight stuff. You know, I've got a Harbor Freight nail gun, because when I got out of the trades and we went and moved in the motorhome, man, I sold all my framing stuff, you know, and I was done. I was never going to frame again, and then we moved out of it. You know, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I need to make some money. So I went out and bought, and it's probably been 8 years ago, bought a Harbor Freight nail gun framer. You know, and as long as you oil that thing, man, dude, it's heavy. It's not as heavy, you know, as light as my Senko was, but that gun is done amazing. You know, I've always, just like with my Senko, you know, dropped some oil in it, 3 drops of oil in it every time, kind of oil up the racks and everything, and man, I've been happy as a clam with that nail gun, still using it to this day. You know, I did have the little Carter key that holds the trigger come off a week ago that I had to, you know, put back together, but amazing, man. And this compressor so far so good. And then I got me one of those chainsaws on a stick, so I got to get some of these cottonwoods off because I'm concerned about them, you know, falling on my buildings again. And that little chainsaw on a stick, man, it's amazing. Amazing little thing, and it's just a Harbor Freight special. Got it on sale for, I think, $69.99, and man, I'm happy as a clam with it too. You know, the one at Home Depot, which is probably made by the same dang company, was $100 bucks. So anyway, so there's my little thing on the Harbor Freight stuff. You can get some, you know, decent stuff there. I've never been too happy with their screws and their screwdrivers and stuff like that. You know, I've twisted the tips off of them quite a few times, but I still pick them up. Actually, even Bob sent me a pack of them. So you throw them in the box and use them for whatever you got to use them for. But anyway, so there's where we're at on the Cookhouse. I'm going to put them blocks in and cut in here and do a couple more little videos and see if we can, how that editor is going to work on there, and we'll get this thing downloaded tonight. Okay, so now I've got I got to put 3 screws in this one. So I've got the block set in this. Actually going to use some caulking for some of them. I did fill some of the cracks with the putty tape, you know, and then I wanted to go over because I had somebody asking me, or emailing me, asking me what I thought I had into this so far as money-wise, and the people actually called us, which I like the title. They said that we're the king and queen of recycling, which made us feel pretty dang good. Because we figure that, you know, the way we live and everything is, you know, we live you know, probably 95 to 98% recycling life, you know, other than, like I said, I don't wear nobody else's underwear. But I mean, everything I got on right here, which I just picked up these shoes made in Italy. I can't remember the brand name, but they sell brand new for 450 bucks. I picked them up for $7. And so I mean, just everything. But anyway, back to the building here. The caulking. I got some caulking right here, and I picked this. Actually, I think I got about 8 tubes. Then I bought a 5-gallon bucket full of sheetrock screws. The whole bottom, probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches of the bottom of this bucket at a yard sale for $5 was full of screws. Most of them were probably 1.25 inches, 1.5 sheetrock screws, which I use the heck out of. The top, there was probably 8 tubes of caulk. and there was something, I can't remember exactly what it was. I bought it at a yard sale over the summer, and I'm trying to think of what, there was something in it. Anyway, there was something else in that bucket that I sold on eBay for 20 bucks. I can't remember what the heck it was. So basically, I picked up I got all this stuff and the screws that I'm using, you know, fasteners, and instead of spending that money towards this building, I actually made 15 bucks. So that's that's how I need to be doing it. So my caulking and the screws that I'm using, I have nothing into on this thing. Like I said, I paid $1 for the house wrap back there. I'm going to use the lumber from the local mill here. I pick up these, you know, them tarps that I've shown before. So that's probably what I'll end up using for the rest of the wrap, because that's, you know, when I run out there. The tar paper that's on it, I actually had bought for the other. Well, I picked up a couple of rolls for $5, and then used it on the, you know, the $50 cabinet. And now, like I said, I think that last time, I can't remember what I calculated, that I still had, you know, more than 50 bucks in that one now. But I think I said 500. I don't remember what. You know, I don't keep that close a track. So that nothing. So I have nothing into the metal I tore off for free. The paper, tar paper and stuff that I used was actually, I bought it and included it in that, so I have nothing in that. I made 15 bucks on that bucket of screws. I bought a box of nails for my nail gun when I did the shed thing over here, which was going to be like a $50 cabinet. It turned out for my flea market storage. So unless I include those in this, trying to think of what else. But at this point right now, other than my labor of tearing all this stuff down and you know, the time putting it together, I would say at this point right now I have zero into this, you know, 200 square foot cookhouse and greenhouse. I think I'm into it nothing. Okay, so now I'm gonna go. So that's some good recycling there. You know, I pick this stuff up all the time, man. If you go to yard sales, flea markets, you know, thrift stores, just any auctions in my family. I love auctions. I ain't been in an auction for a bit, but man, I just pick this stuff up, you know, year round, always picking this stuff up, man. That's how I end up getting all my exterior lights, my interior lights, windows, you know, never turn down free crap. You know, somebody say, hey, I got a pile of junk over here, you want to haul it off? Man, I, you know, make runs to the dump, go through it, keep what I want, take the rest, you know, to the recycler and the dump, and because I try to do as much, obviously, as recycling as I can. So anyway, so now back to the building. So what I'm trying to do with these, the shakes, I just love shakes, is my favorite. You know, I'd have them all over the roofs and everything if it wasn't for the, you know, using wood fires and stuff like that, because man, if they light up, they're, you know, insane. What I'm going to do with this, the look I'm looking for, this whole wall over here is going to be shake. I'm going to do some crazy whimsical thing over the window. And what I want the look to be is I want it to look like I stood up here and just poured these shakes down this wall and over these windows. So that's kind of the look, you know, that I'm looking for. You know, if you ever, one of my biggest inspiration of, you know, natural builders and stuff would be Sunray Kelly. You know, look up old Sunray. Man, he does some amazing stuff, and he's probably my #1 inspiration for the natural building stuff. Awesome stuff. Alright, so I'll probably film a little more when I get this going, but I wanted to make 2 little videos here so we can see how it edits together. Alright, so I didn't get as far along as I wanted. I had to go list some stuff, and you know, I got to keep that all my dollar rolling, so I had to do some of that. And now it's, I don't know if I about 4 o'clock, you know, and now the time change went back to real time. Gets dark a lot sooner, and we got to go over and watch the grandbabies around 4. I guess actually it's about 3 o'clock right now. We're going to go watch the grandbabies, and Miss Kitty's going to smush this video together, and we're going to load it over there. So just kind of show what like I said, didn't get quite as far as I wanted. I love just the abnormal thing, you know. Of course, then I'll come down with these, and then once you come down with these, then some finish nails or whatever to, you know, so you can cover up staples there. Then I'm just going to kind of roll this over the top. I haven't decided. I kind of ran these wild because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do on this corner, but I'll come up with some whimsical type thing, but it's going to look pretty darn cool.